Today is a red day recap, and let me just begin by saying that red days are bound to happen. We can't always escape from the red days, but we just have to learn to live with it and move on. However, it's also a perfect example as to why I don't want to share fully how I am trading this strategy, because it is quite risky. It's not the best way of trading, in my opinion, but since these firms have limited risk, we just pay for these accounts, the activation fees, the evaluation fees. The risk is so minimal until you actually grow the accounts that it is worth trading a little bit riskier strategy if it provides with good consistency and results. So that being said, even though it's a riskier strategy, you guys could see that is working for me. But today was a pretty big haircut from my overall PnL, since I was trading mostly just 2 accounts. Then I got to 4 accounts. But most of the profit that I've made was basically on 2 accounts. And now I have 5 accounts. So when I took a loss on all 5 accounts and the 150K account was double the size, it was quite significant and actually put me red on the week. However, I just stayed cool and I really tried to make small gains back a little bit at a time. And I never lost for the remaining of the day till the very end of the day. And I ended up scalping a lot of the losses back. So we'll talk about that. But again, it could have been ugly, and I am happy the way this red day ended. I am really, really blessed for that. So let's go over the numbers and then we'll go over more details here. So first, I made a slight change right before the open that I'm going to take double size on the 150K account. So what does that mean? That means two things. Here I have the same size on the 150K account and on the 50Ks. I could use a stop loss order very easily with the bracket for my entries and for both my entries. With double the size on the 150K, I can't do that anymore. And there's a reason for that. It will think that you're trading too many contracts. So quantower won't let you input that trade as a stop loss. Therefore, I did not have a automatic stop loss. I had a manual stop loss. And the way it all works, it's very complicated, but whatever. I ended up losing a little bit more than I wanted. Almost $400 more per account than I wanted, times 5 accounts. So it was quite drastic, and I really want to move forward with using stops. So I'm going to scale down in size to make sure I could use stops, or I'm going to trade the 150K account in its separate window so it doesn't have to be copy traded. However, down 260 on this account is a blessing at the end of the day, and this was the account that was down the most on the day. So down 260 after fees, not a big deal at all. The account started at 5,700 and now it's going to be at like 5,400. This account is the TraderVate account that I had some trouble with last couple of days. And today, after having a really, really bad open, I decided not to even touch this account. So I said I'm not even going to touch it. It's a guaranteed 2K at the worst possible scenario. So if I get 2K out of this account, at least all these accounts are paid for, right? So that's another way of limiting my risk. There's no risk involved in these accounts. Then the other 50K account was down $243. And once I got close to making a lot of the profits back, so I wasn't green yet, but I was closer to break even, I decided to trade them separately. Okay, so I was okay with the 260 down here and 260 down here, and I separated the accounts and I tried to get at least one of them back to green. This one did not work. This one actually ended up losing a couple of times, and I stopped trading at the end of the day. But this one was down to like negative $100 on the day, and I took a couple of losses. And then this one, I ended up going green on. So that's a great result because that's the new account. And I really have to make some progress on this account if I want to qualify for the withdrawal in September, on September 5th. This account was also down, and this account was traded on YM. So not only did NQ lose, which it's so rare for it to lose, but it was quite obvious that if I do end up going short today, it will be a loss. But I still wanted to just execute the trade, and did not work out. YM, same thing, did not work out. 2 days in a row, YM didn't work. And I've passed the evaluation trading for 10 days in a row without losing on that trade. And now that I am trading with a funded account 2 days in a row, it did not work. So tomorrow I am not going to trade it with YM. I'm going to trade another evaluation with an YM trade, and I'll trade NQ with the other 50K right here. Okay. Overall, down $451. A lot of that is actually fees. So very, very blessed to be down just $451 and not being red on the week, which is what I was right after the open. Still up $11,837 on the accounts. And again, the reason why today was very significant is because two things. One, I took a bigger loss than I wanted to because I was manually stopping out. And number two is that now I'm trading 5 accounts versus these profits that you see here, the 12,000. Those profits are mostly from 2 accounts, from these 2 accounts. That's most of the profits. So when I lost on 5 accounts, that's a significant amount. If I make significant profit on all 5 accounts, these days will be in 2000s. And that's the goal. At least 2000 net. But right now, haven't had that happen except here for once. But that was only on 4 accounts. So hopefully I could get this to over $2,000 on a very easy green day. And that way, a few days like that, then when I take a bigger loss, it won't be as dramatic as today's was. But again, scalp back, and it's not something I want to get in the habit of. I do have a solid strategy when I am consistently reading the market well, but when I'm not, things get dicey, and you could get into a lot of trouble with scalping. So you have to be very precise because the stops are wide and the profits are little. So if I scaled down, I was trading just one contract to start crawling back, because these accounts, I am still at $2,500 worth of drawdown, right? So when I was down $1,000 on each account, that was significant. So I really wanted to just take one contract, make a couple $100 back, then I scale up to 2 contracts, and I ended up scalping back quite a lot of profit. Unfortunately, at the very end of the day, I did not do well. But then I traded NVIDIA earnings on a 150K valuation. I made $5,000 in 3 seconds. It was one of the most wildest trades I've ever had on NQ. Right here, entry and exit, 5 contracts and 200 ticks, and I made 5 grand in 3 seconds. It was quite amazing. But I could show you guys that. It was 3 seconds right here. Entry at 38 and then exit at 41. Discord link down below just in case. And this was the end of day before I took another loss here on this account. But this is also pre-commission, so keep that in mind. And just let's pull up the numbers on the new balances so I could show you guys that since it's already 9 p.m. here, the Apex page has updated, and I could show you guys that everything matches. So we have the 150K account. The balance is $5,444, and that is exactly what we have here, 5444. So it matches perfectly. Day 11, so technically I could stop trading this account and withdraw the money from it and still have a decent chunk of cushion. This is the TradeOvate account, so that's the second account, $3,193. Did not trade this account today, so you guys could see that's now lagging 1 day. Even though these accounts started at the same day, everything was the same, but today I did not even touch that account. Therefore, it's on day number 10. And then these 2 accounts are on day number 6. We have 14.15 and 12.97 and 4.88. I'm off by $1 there. But all this is calculated manually with the spreadsheet, and you guys could see it matches up perfectly. So I just go based on the rhythmic profit and loss, and that gives you the net profit, not the gross profit. The gross profit does not matter when you scalp because commissions do add up. Overall, very, very happy and blessed with this day. Still up 2.5 grand on the week overall on the accounts. Hopefully we could get this to 5,000 again and have another 5K week like we did last week. But at the same time, I'm not pushing the buttons and I'm not forcing anything. So hopefully just keeping a solid progress going forward, but at the same time, we're not pressing for any goals. So whatever happens, happens. We have to accept that sometimes things will go off the rails and we have to just accept it and move on. Today was definitely a big lesson. I have to make some adjustments to the strategy. And again, this is why I am not sharing the way I am trading, because I think it's a little bit silly, if that's the right word for it. It's just not a proper, it's a low risk, I mean, a high risk, low reward type of trade. You have to be very exact on your entries to know when to enter, when to exit, to be as consistent as I am. So it's not something that's just going to be, I mean, it's easy to explain what I'm looking for, but at the same time, today, for example, I lost, you could have won. And then days I win, you could have lost, because if you went the opposite way of me, let's say you went short instead of long, and I go long and you go short, then obviously the results would be reversed. So there is a system to it, and I am trying to get it as perfect as I can. I did make some adjustments, and I think I have to go back a little bit, a few days, to trade the way I used to trade, and maybe I'll avoid a situation like this today, because today I got bottom ticked into the trade. So it was instant loss, and it was very brutal. I had no time to even react. But anyway, guys, that is it for today's recap, red day recap, the first official red day of the system. And it could have been avoided, could have been a lot worse as well. So, you know, positives and negatives to everything, but I'm just going to stay positive. I am going to keep my head up and keep grinding towards the payout in September. We have 5 accounts that could qualify for that payout, so I really want to take advantage of it and get all these accounts to a payout in September. But until then, I'll catch you guys tomorrow. A lot of people that are watching the videos are not subscribed, so do subscribe, hit that like, and I'll catch you guys on tomorrow's video.